They like trap music, but that's not me. They like pop music, but that's not me. I'm the baby face that will put you in your place, set you up, take it safe, then vanish without a trace. They like Balenciaga, but that's not me. They like Dolce Gabbana, but that's not me. I'm the baby face that will put you in your place, take your girl to your face.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is a post from Dillian Whyte on his Instagram. Now, Dillian Whyte posted this on his Instagram, and if you listen, this is what Deontay Wilder had to say, and this is a post from Dillian Whyte, and it's comments from Deontay Wilder.
Style for me. It's an easy fight. Trust me. His style is easy. He got a wild style. If people think I'm wild, come on. He wants to call out the best fighters, but he don't want to fight the best fighters. Dillian Whyte, get your together, man. That's all you got to do. Go fight the right fights and stop running away from the fight. Dillian Whyte is a style.
All right, so that's what Deontay Wilder had to say. And then what Dillian Whyte wrote is, I want to punish at Bronze Bomber. The coward is full of fear. Come see me, fraud clown, with the wolf emoji. And this was posted 22 hours ago. So, Trill Dollar Bill, what are your thoughts on what Wilder had to say? Dillian saying he wants to fight Wilder. We know your take on whether or not that fight should happen. Just your overall thoughts on the whole situation.
I was gonna say that everything that you said last week. Think Dillian should fall back, and of course Wilder will be calling him out after everything you said last week, my brother. It comes to the point with Deontay Wilder, right? I don't even want to do this, man. Like, I don't even want to do it to the brother, man. Like, I really don't, man. Like, but I don't want to hear nothing from you. Like you did me dirty. Like that, I feel like it's personal. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to hear nothing from you until you get in that ring, man, and apologize to everybody for all the excuses and all the B crap. Because all you're doing is woofing on the net. Until I see you get in the ring, all you doing is all this woofing for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you let the Tyson Fury fight go. You had everybody going crazy. You had me fighting with your fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. For real. You left G out here on the island alone. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody complex.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This was crazy. Like, it was crazy, man. It's like, I have no words, and like, kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, Wilder, now you want to call out Dillian. You see him like, nah, man. You're not even in that position. To me, you're not even in that position. You're behind Dillian. I know the rankings or whatever, or some people got you before. Then you're behind. You ain't mandatory for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I think people should treat him as such. You know what I'm saying? I don't think once you make your excuses. Look, I got love for the great Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But I still had to be real. Soon as he did the shoulder thing, I even had to fall back from it, like, and say, yo, man, he was wrong for that. Once you do that, man, listen, forget all the calling the peoples out. You know what I'm saying? It's time to rebrand yourself. To me, you know what I'm saying? Because you left a sour taste in my mouth, and I didn't even want to do it to you, bro. I'm sick and tired of, you know what I'm saying? Seem like I'm always coming off the top rope and dropping the elbow on you, and I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to, man. But that's how I feel. Leave Dillian alone.
All right, well, quickly, I know that you just went, but what's your thoughts on Dillian even entertaining this, like posting this? Like,
nah, like, see, it's like the same way like you said last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dillian needs to chill out. You know what I'm saying? What's in your best interest, Dillian? You know what I'm saying? You fighting Deontay Wilder. Now, say for example, you get clipped. Now it's, you know what I'm saying? He has to earn that way. Like, he didn't want to give you a shot. Now you in the driver's seat. Let him wait his turn. Wilder, you need to rebuild. Do what Andy Ruiz did. After he made his excuses he got with the Reynosos. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to get with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Change the perceptions. You know what I'm saying? So we can forget about the excuses. You know what I'm saying? We all forgot about Andy's excuses. We were talking about his legs now. You know what I'm
So
saying?
how we talk about it like
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Now with Wilder, he give us somebody else, go back, start all over again. We'll be talking about something else. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Right now, I just think Wilder, man, you did too much. I don't even want to entertain that. I don't even think you don't deserve to be in the ring with Dillian right now. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. You can't clown Dillian. Don't try to take any of Dillian's accomplishments or anything he went through. He just got knocked out, a bad knocked out, and then came back to stop the guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't take nothing away from Dillian. Don't do that. Don't on his accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Because he gave you your props, even though he was saying about your competition, but you did whatever you did to your competition. So don't go over here and crapping on this man. You know what I'm saying? You just go back to the drawing board and get right with yourself.
all right. Respect TBE. I'm throwing you in there. What you gotta say, TBE?
Wilder, shut up. Shut up all the way up. I'm tired of this man, yo. Like Trill said, we are tired of hearing him. He comes out, he talks all this trash, nonsense. He speaks it, they give him a mic, he gets going, he goes. It's like his mouth runs on X-Lax. And to me, I'm tired of hearing this guy because he's all talk, no bite. And when Fury was the worst cherry he picked in his life, and at this point in his career, it's either he's going to step in the ring, and I believe he's never going to step in the ring because he's a coward. He's and he learned he can't play boxing. He's been playing boxing for all his fights till his last fight. So, Wilder, shut up. I ain't got nothing else to say to you. If you step in the ring with Dillian, if you have the nuts, if you still have the nuts to step in the ring with Dillian, you're going to get knocked out. That's all I'm going to say.
Conspiracy, man. The floor is yours.
All right. I humbly disagree with both my co-hosts on this one. You know what I mean? And before I talk about Wilder, though, I'm going to keep it real. I got to first talk about Dillian, though. I don't believe Dillian wants this fight, obviously, because was it last week after the Povetkin fight, he literally was like, I just want a tune-up. But they kept pushing the Wilder fight to him, right? So I think they're kind of forcing Dillian Whyte's hand. So I think now they have to do the fight because Wilder's now is talking to him, and now he responded back saying he's going to take out Wilder. So now he can't back out because now the world will call Dillian Whyte, a runner, a ducker, or what have you, right? And, man, we know how slimy this boxing game is. It wasn't just the zone. Even on ESPN, Max Kellerman, I believe, was talking to Timothy Bradley about Wilder versus Dillian Whyte. You know what I'm saying? And that's ESPN. They ain't even really got a dog in that fight, and they talking about it. You know what I'm saying? PBC wants that. So I think the boxing world and the powers that be want that, And so Dillian has to take this fight at this point. The only way this fight isn't happening is if Wilder backs out. So now I know TBE talking about, Wilder's a quote unquote coward, so he's not going to take that fight. I don't believe he's not going to take. I think they've had bad blood for so long. Dillian's talking about his children, all kind of stuff. They're going to fight, and not to mention, this is a win for Deontay Wilder, right? Because think about it. He does get a front cut. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this. I won't even be surprised if the WBC goes, we making that a mandated fight. Deontay Wilder versus Dillian Whyte. Oh, excuse me, Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder. That's how slimy this boxing game is, right?
You said it right the first time. You said it right the first time.
All right, man. I'm trying to help you out, but okay. You know what I mean? So I guess I said it right the first time. You're helping me out. But anyways, so I think the boxing world, all the networks is in on this, because it makes money. You know what I'm saying? Have Wilder and Fury bang and have the second tier guys bang it out. And then set up, the follow-up. You know what I mean? It's all about mega fights, right? So people gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Because if Wilder wins, right? Even was AJ or Fury, right? ESPN's hoping that Wilder gets rid of Dillian So then they can set up the trilogy, and then more people want to see it because they're like, all right, Wilder knocked out Dillian Whyte, so there's it's something there. If Dillian knocks out Wilder, then you have Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury. If let's say AJ beats Tyson Fury, you have and let's say Wilder wins, Wilder versus AJ. Everybody wanted to see it. Now that Wilder beats Dillian Whyte, a UK household name, that's a sell right there. So that's going to be huge. If Dillian Whyte beats Wilder, even though we've seen Dillian versus AJ, people want to see what can Dillian Whyte do now that he's more seasoned. It's win-wins all around. But now this is where my concerns come in. I have to keep it real. That little clip that Caden played got me a little nervous because my man sound crazy punch drunk. I was like, yo, please tell me this is like in slow-mo or something because Wilder sounded chopped and screwed. And that's getting me a little nervous because I'm like, he's like, yeah, I'll beat him, but his style's tailor-made for me. You know, y'all said, I'm wild. He's wild. I'm like, bro. Hope I didn't react crazy because I didn't want y'all two to be laughing and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to stay humble, but I'm getting nervous. Like, why you sound like that, bro? Like, did Fury do you greasy like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, your vocal cords sound crazy. You sound muffled. I'm like, bro, please tell me you at a studio and they playing with your vocals, bro, because I don't like how you sound, man. But, hey, if he can still punch, I'll be all right, but I'm getting nervous. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. So, but salute to Wilder, salute to Dillian Whyte. Now you guys have to fight because everybody that's invested is called out this fight. So nobody could back down. The most somebody can say is like, oh, yo, they gave me a contract that was BS. Maybe. But people still gonna be like, nah, bro, you gotta take this fight. Either which man, they just have to fight.
Gee, you saying that Deontay Wilder sounds like Bubba from Forrest Gump?
Bruh. Well, listen. I'm hoping that clip was just in slow-mo to mess with my mind. Like, yo, Wilder's loses his faculties. But
yo, what was Bubba from in Forrest Gump? He might have been from Alabama.
From Greenbow, Alabama, right? So
yeah, so I think he was from Alabama. Yeah. Maybe that's just the way they talk in Alabama, G. And you
trust me, I've heard interviews from Wilder in the past that didn't sound like this.
Shout out to Forrest. Forrest was a real one. He didn't have to go and give his mother that check. You know what I'm saying? Forrest can't hold that down. So shout out to Forrest for being a real one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give a shout out to Big Mo. Big Mo's from Alabama, and he doesn't talk like that. Yeah. When I think of this, I'm sorry. What you saying, Ned?
I was just trying to say is Wilder's loose off the goose. You know.
Off the goose. Hey man, listen, if you getting that step aside, maybe he loose off the goose. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Get the step aside and the Dillian fight, man. Wilder won the lotto this year, man. I'm just saying. But he sounds crazy.
Wilder can't look in this man's eyes, dog. It's crazy.
You Wilder fans, man, y'all make me laugh. Because this is what y'all really want. You see the way G painted this narrative. First, I'm gonna address what Wilder said. He told Dillian to take the fights that people want to see. Okay, so let's talk about it. Dillian Whyte fought Joseph Parker. He fought Oscar Rivas. He fought Derek Chisora. He fought Alexander Povetkin. Are those not fights people want to see? In fact, those are fights people want to see you in, my brother, and you never took them. Dillian Whyte wanted to fight you, and you sent him a DM saying you can make him wait 2 years. Even if you decide to fight him, because you don't have to fight him. So now that you lost and Dillian Whyte's in the driver's seat, all of a sudden you're ready to fight him. What changed? You took a L and you lost your position of privilege. Now Dillian Whyte is in the position of privilege and now you want to fight him. But when you had the belt, when you had all the hype, when you could have helped him essentially, when you could have gave him a chance, you didn't want to give it to him. You were bossing him. You were sunning him. You sunned him. You were like, if I feel like it, you know what I'm saying? Because whatever. Now Dillian's like, he wants to beat you up. He wants to beat you. And G said he doesn't think that Dillian really wants to fight Wilder because at the end of the fight, Dillian said he wants an easy fight. He wants a tune-up. But what G doesn't realize is many people view Wilder as a tune-up. Remember, Tyson Fury said this to Andre Ward in an interview. He said, yes, the man can punch, but he has the skills of a 6-round bill filler. Facts. Facts. Dillian Whyte believes that he can go in the ring and wash Deontay Wilder. And I believe he can beat Wilder too. But my issue, like I told Dillian before, is you have the propensity to get dropped. You got dropped by Joshua, you got dropped by Rivas, you got dropped by Joseph Parker, and you got knocked out cold by Alexander Povetkin. So I wouldn't even give Wilder the chance, because although his skills are terrible, he windmills and all that, he does have your kryptonite, power. And if he lands it, then it's back to the back of the bus again. You just regained your position of power in impressive fashion, and you did it in a manner in which Wilder's never done it. See, Wilder got knocked out, and then he let his contract expire. He didn't take the immediate rematch. See, Dillian, you got knocked out cold. See, Wilder didn't even get knocked out. He got stopped. You got knocked out cold. Took an immediate rematch and knocked the guy out who knocked you out faster than he did it to you. See, that's big boy stuff. That's big man things, right? As y'all would say in the UK. But Wilder showed that he's frail and fragile. He don't even want to see Big Bad Fury no more. He doesn't want to sit in the press conference with the Big Bad Fury no more. He doesn't want to be across the ring from the Big Bad Fury no more. See, he wants to throw stones from a distance at the Big Bad Fury. He wants to say the Fury loaded his gloves. You know, the Fury had his team spike his water. The Fury had him pick a suit that was too heavy for him to walk into the ring. The Big Bad Fury did all this. So what he's doing is throwing dirt on Fury's name, but he don't even want to face the man in the ring. So why even entertain him? Now, what I would say is this. G said the WBC might mandate that fight. On what grounds? On what grounds? Deontay Wilder let his contract expire. Of course, they're going to blame the pandemic. They're going to blame all these things as to why they let the contract expire. I'm not even going to dive into that. But for those of you who saying, why would Deontay Wilder get step-aside money when he let his contract expire? It's because he's going to argue he let his contract expire due to the pandemic, and then it's going to be all that. He'd get step-aside money so that they would just close the case. It's the same reason why people settle out of court. There are bogus lawsuits filed all the time. But legal fees, drawn out fees, everything, sometimes it's just easier to settle it before even if the outcome is you would win, sometimes it's best to just pay money to settle it. So you pay Deontay Wilder step aside money for him to drop the case so you can go on to the undisputed fight clean, not having to worry about injunctions trying to stop the fight. That's why you would pay Deontay Wilder step-aside money, for those who don't understand. But fine. I don't know. I'm not confirming that he got step-aside money. It was a report from Max Kellerman and other people. But he does have grounds. He does have an argument because he has a real legal dispute that he can push that he'd probably lose, but it still is a headache. It still is legal fees. It still is a hindrance to what we all want to see. So what do? Just go away. Make it rain on him and tell him to go away. That's what you do. Now, because he let his contract expire, right, with Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury's going to fight, and Dillian Whyte's the mandatory, the WBC shouldn't mandate that fight because Dillian Whyte was the mandatory before he ever lost that fight. So what changed to help Deontay Wilder? No, they shouldn't do that. At the end of the day, I've already said what I think Dillian Whyte should do. I'm not going to repeat it. You can go to that video. Dillian Whyte, just make sure you're doing what's best for you at the end of the day. And Dillian, if you think fighting Deontay Wilder is what's best for you, then do it. But just remember, it's a big risk. Not because I don't think you can beat him. I think you can beat him. I think you would beat him. But he does have a puncher's chance. And sadly, puncher's chances are your kryptonite.
Hold on. I just kind of rebut two things real quick. Normally I don't do this, but I'll say Dillian, remember, the commentators was asking Dillian about Wilder. He never responded. He just said, I need a tune-up. Eddie Hearn himself also said Wilder was more concerned about his diamond belt.
He's in the moment.
Brought up Wilder. So
I'll respond to that in a second. Go ahead, G.
So at the time, I honestly believe he was just like, yo, I'm not even trying to entertain the Wilder fight. I just want to tune up. I just finished a serious fight with Povetkin, and again, I'm not blaming them or anything. That rightfully so, it makes sense, right? And then another point, I think Dillian Whyte should take this fight. And the reason why is because, and it's not because I'm a Wilder fan, it just makes sense. That fight with Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder could sell out the O2 Arena, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a humongous fight that people in the UK would love to see. And because Dillian is the A side now, he's on the driver's seat, Wilder's going to have to fight Dillian Whyte whenever Dillian Whyte says we're going to fight. So it ain't going to be in the US. It ain't going to be in New York. It's not going to be in Vegas. Most likely it's going to be in the UK. And that is going to be a big payday for Dillian Whyte. So that's why I think Dillian Whyte's going to take that fight because it makes sense. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't see the reward in fighting Wilder. I just don't. Well, just the bag. I think the bag will be there when he fights the winner of AJ and Tyson Fury if that happens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all money ain't good money, man. I just don't, man. Wilder don't. I don't know, man. He don't deserve it, B. Like he just left. He gotta work. Don't you gotta earn some shit? I mean, don't you gotta earn some stuff? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
No, I'm with you 100%, Trill. But let me just jump on G for a second. Mm-hmm. G, I love how you'd like to believe. So let me tell you what I'd like to believe. I'd like to believe that Dillian Whyte said, Eddie Hearn, give me easy fights. Let me get a tune-up. And then Eddie Hearn mentioned Deontay Wilder. Mm-hmm. And Dillian Whyte said nothing. And I'd like to believe that's because he views Deontay Wilder as a tune-up. So as soon as he said, Eddie Hearn, give me tune-up fights, and Eddie Hearn mentioned Deontay Wilder, he was okay with it because I'd like to believe to him that was the tune-up he was talking about. So that's what I'd like to believe. Okay, now let's get into this real quick. The bag, he can sell out the O2 Arena with Deontay Wilder. Mm-hmm. I agree. He probably could do that, but that requires Deontay Wilder taking a risky fight that he's never taken in his career. That requires Deontay Wilder agreeing to go to the UK and fight him. And then if Deontay Wilder does all those things, I agree he can sell out the O2 Arena. Mm-hmm. But he wouldn't do in the O2 Arena with Deontay Wilder what he would do with Anthony Joshua, what he would do with Tyson Fury, and he's already guaranteed that fight so long as he doesn't lose.
But if he believes,
so why would he even entertain Wilder?
Because he believes in his heart of hearts he's going to knock out Wilder. So if you feel Wilder's a tune-up, like you said, then that's an easy bag. So get the easy bag and to get the more difficult bag later down the line.
And why? Again, I'm encouraging Dillian Whyte to do what he feels is best for him. But again, why would he get the bag with Deontay Wilder? You know who he can get the bag with? Alexander Usyk. He can get the bag with Usyk. Not only can he get the bag with Usyk, but he can also beat him and erase him from having a claim to being next after the fight.
Then I'll flip it on you. Why would Usyk take that fight when Usyk?
Because he can beat Dillian Whyte. He can erase Dillian Whyte from being the one to have the first shot at the winner of the undisputed fight. It's a benefit for both of them. So why
he already has next
out the O2 Arena?
He already has next before Dillian Whyte. So why would he risk going backwards when he already has next above Dillian Whyte?
What do you mean he has next above Dillian?
He
doesn't have next above Dillian. What's going to happen is once Joshua and Fury do their two fights, they're going to break the belts up, bro. They're not keeping those belts. Once one of them becomes the official undisputed, meaning has won the last undisputed fight, right? Once one of them officially becomes undisputed, they're breaking those belts up. Those belts, no undisputed champion has ever kept all the belts. The belts always get broken up. When Lennox Lewis, he let Chris Berg get a belt. Like then they break the belts up because it becomes like I'm not fighting all these mandatories. So trust me, bro, this is actually a way for them to keep all the belts. Is if you have Dillian Whyte and Usyk fight each other to see who's going to get first dibs at the undisputed champion, that would mean that Usyk or Dillian, the winner of that fight, could actually fight to be undisputed. You see what I'm saying? That's the benefit of that fight. Wilder is a freaking clown. There's no benefit to him. Only thing you're trying to do, and all the Wilder fans are trying to do, is convince people to do something that would benefit Wilder. And why would anyone want to do that?
No, I'm not even coming from the benefit of Wilder. I'm coming from the benefit of just the fans. The boxing world want to see big fights. So these are big fights that people want to see. I'm for Usyk versus Dillian Whyte. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that happening. What I'm saying is, with this fight between Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder, all the networks are pushing this fight. So to me, it seems like the boxing world wants this fight is going to happen. You know, and if one of them backs out now, they'll be labeled as a coward. So I think
who will be labeled as a coward? That's another thing. Yeah. Dillian Whyte won't be labeled as a coward. Dillian Whyte Dillian Whyte has the second best resume in the heavyweight division. Second best resume in the heavyweight division, Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte has fought more killers than Deontay Wilder. Come on, man.
Nah, Dillian Whyte deserves a pass. Like Dillian Whyte will never be called a ducker. Like, that's just one person that just wouldn't be called a ducker. You know what I'm saying? And especially with the relationship they had in the past. I'm pretty sure, like, everybody's gonna know that, you know, Dillian. They're not gonna say Dillian's a ducker. If anything, they're gonna be like, yo, they gonna rock with some of the stuff we're saying. Like, yo, you don't deserve a shot. Like, you had your chance to fight him, and that fight will still be good. The bad blood will still be there. You know what I'm saying? After Dillian gets his shot at the belt, that bad blood will still go there. Yeah, I don't hear him calling out Miller, Big Baby Miller. Big Miller went in on him. I seen them together in the same arena.
Miller can't fight right now.
But I'm just saying, like, you talk about smoke and beef. He done seen this guy face to face in the arena. He never went down. This guy done disrespect his kids, his woman, everything. So it ain't bad blood like that. You know what I'm saying? Dillian was just piggybacking off of what Miller said. So it ain't like that. If they want to portray and do the WWE stuff afterwards, like, oh, I got problems with you, you got problems with me, that still will be there after he gets a chance at that belt.
And just to add, Trill, it's very simple. Dillian Whyte's explanation for why he doesn't fight Wilder. Tit for tat, I got your back.
Yeah.
That's it. So no one's going to look at him as a ducker, bro. Stop that narrative ASAP.
Let us know how y'all feel in the comment section, and please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. Poor Wilder.
You're welcome.